Hey Pisces star seeds, it's Sweet Spirit Mystic. How's everyone doing? So if you're seeing this when I'm uploading it or the next day, the moon is in Pisces. And we also get a full moon and a lunar eclipse. So let's see what this energy is about. So the last time we had this same configuration was in 2007, so 18 years ago. So think about things in your life that were happening then and view it as like a full circle moment where those lessons, those situations are really being completed as far as your elevation and enlightenment go. So 18 years is a big stretch of time. So appreciate that. Appreciate what you've been through and what you've learned since then. Even if you were really young, there's a maturity to that amount of time. You know, you think about when a person turns 18, that's when they're an adult. So you've adulted through a certain phase in your life, and you know, with the moon being in Pisces, think about your emotional evolution. Okay, so let's see. What are the messages for Pisces collective? All right, here we go. So there's a bit underneath this, but I just want to show you. Oh, gold star, if you can guess where I am. New views. So yeah, okay. We have the King of Pentacles here. However, it's starting out with the Four of Wands. So the Four of Wands talks about those celebrations in life, when people get married, when people have children, when people, you know, those milestones in life. Again, remember, when you turn 18. And what's to be celebrated? Because there has been effort. You know, the fours are about stability. It's finding out who you are at a certain phase. We also have the Three of Swords. So as with anything in our life, it's not always peaches and cream. There's always, you know, a sadness that's associated with these milestones. It's like the former you is no longer there. Think if you have children, you know, you're so happy to have this child, but when they go to kindergarten, okay, that's sad. Every parent cries that I know of. So it's like that. There's like this bittersweet, we've graduated, we're moving on in life, but there is a sadness because that former life you cannot go back to, even if you want. It's like, you know, you can't be a baby anymore. You can't be a teenager anymore. You can't be in your 20s anymore, however that goes. But it doesn't mean that, you know, that it's anything to be sad about for too long, because you're elevating. You know, if you think about in so many different cultures, there's these rites of passage moments, you know, quinceañeras, bar mitzvahs, things like that, where you go from being a child to an adult. So as we go through life, Pisces, we have many moments like this where our life changes. So we have the Eight of Swords, we have the Five of Wands, and then the King of Pentacles. So what it's showing to me, let me see if I can do this so you can look at it. 1 second. I have no idea if you can see that, but it's the Four of Wands, the Three of Swords, the Eight of Swords, the Five of Wands, and the King of Pentacles. So think about the King of Pentacles as the graduation point. You've become who you are. And in that middle part, the Three of Swords, Eight of Swords, Five of Wands, that's what you had to go through and or let go of to become this King of Pentacles. And the King of Pentacles energy is stable, prosperous, self-sufficient, has acquired luxury, stability, just this inner knowing of I am who I am and no one can take that away from me. But with the three and Eight of Swords and the Five of Wands, that's what you have to let go of. That's what you have to experience in order to get to that point. Because we never know who we are until we are tried, until we are tested. This is the theme lately. So, the heartaches that go along with advancing in life, the sacrifices that have to be made. For every successful business deal that you've had to painstakingly do, or someone did, it's cost time somewhere else. Let's say with your family or loved ones. So it's again like that evaluation. Like, is this worth it? Has it been worth it? Am I grateful for everything that has transpired until now? And then the Eight of Swords, that can talk about those places in our mind where we get stuck, where we are like, oh, this is who I am and this is who I am forever. No, we change imperceptibly, and thank goodness. We want to become more mature emotionally, mentally. Maybe not so much physically, right? But again, Pisces, you look young forever. You are young forever, the eternal spring. So you don't have to worry about that. But, time is time. So with the Eight of Swords, it's like, yeah, sometimes you have to cut your losses. Even if you look at this image in this illustration, there's like two knights, and one is hurt, and the other one's checking on them. You see it in all the movies where they're like, leave me, you have to go. And there's something or someone that gets left behind because they're, I don't want to say dead weight, but they're not able to keep up with you. And that's in itself sad, hard. It's those losses that we're like, I know I need to move on, but I don't, So with the Five of Wands, there's a bit of a conflict there. Like, you don't want to, but you know that you have to leave an old aspect of yourself behind, or people behind, in order to move forward, because it's almost turned into like a conflict. Nails on a chalkboard feeling of where you're at. You're like, you know what? I can't be here anymore. I need to move on. So with any eclipse, it shows, especially a full moon, the full moon illuminates, and the eclipse takes away what needs to be taken away in order for what's new to come in. So be observant to that. It doesn't have to be like instantaneously, like, oh my God, this is over, bye, get out, I hate you. It doesn't have to be that, but you're noticing that you're being drawn in a certain direction, and that there are certain people or energies that can't come with you. Underneath the deck, we have the Hierophant. So it's this elevation as a teacher. You can't stay in kindergarten forever. at a certain point we have to graduate and go out into life and no longer be the student. We now become the teachers for others. So there can be some feelings of imposter syndrome. We're like, oh, am I ready? You are. It's time. And we get kicked out of the nest. All right, let's see. What else? We have this King of Pentacles. I really like that energy because it's steady. It's slow. It's something that's taken time. And no one can take away experience. No one can say, well, you don't know. Well, actually, look what I've been through. Now you tell me. So that's what that King of Pentacles reminds me of, is you've earned this level of authority, of experience. So we have the Seven of Wands. We also have quite a bit under here. So okay, let me just show you what everything is and then we'll read them all together. Okay, so we have the Emperor, the Four of Swords, Eight of Wands, Judgment, and the Two of Cups. The bottom of the deck, we have the King of Cups. So immediately what I'm noticing is there's three masculine energies out here. So we have the King of Pentacles, the Emperor, and the King of Cups. So the King of Cups is someone who has mastered their emotions. This is not someone who has tidal waves or emotional upheavals. Think of someone that's really stoic. Like no matter what happens, they're there. And nothing's rocking them. It's almost like they're the rock in the ocean, that the ocean, beats up against, but they're there. So that's a really beautiful place to be emotionally, because you just look at everything and you're in your mind, you're like, really? Oh, wow. I'm embarrassed for you. Like when you see people, just kind of going nuts, you're like, really? Okay. And that's a really powerful place to be as a Pisces, because we feel so much emotionally. So in order to get to this King of Cups energy, you've been through a lot. So things just don't faze you, but it doesn't mean you don't care. But others might perceive that from you. They're like, oh, well, they just don't care. They're just, checked out or apathetic. No. You feel, but you're not letting it, tsunami your life. Yeah, wow. Underneath that King of Cups, wow, this is beautiful, is the Ace of Cups, the Page of Cups, King of Cups. So you could be, sorry, I'm totally not even showing the cards. Hold on. Okay, sorry. Ace of Cups, Page of Cups, King of Cups. So for me, Pisces, if you're new, I always view the Page of Cups as our collective. So with this Ace of Cups here, it's like this new version of love. So either the same person you're with or a new person. But it's like, it's like you've determined what kind of relationship you want to be connected to. Someone who has command of their emotions, like you, who is loving, who cares about, romance, chivalry, like has a sensitivity to them where there's this appreciation for beauty, for like art, like history, like if you think about classics, if you read classic literature, that kind of lifestyle. It's making me think of The Count of Monte Cristo or Great Expectations. It's this very old way of carrying yourself, carrying your energy, caring about the world. This decorum. It's very like gentlemanly, genteel behavior. And that's a lost art. I don't know in other countries, but in the US, that's really hard to find people that are respectful and well-mannered. Oh gosh, it is like a needle in a haystack. You can't find people like that. It's almost like they've all been killed. But this is what's coming towards you, is people like that, because you're like that. So we have the Emperor and the Four of Swords, right? So I feel like that's who's coming towards you. This King of Cups, Emperor energy. They've been through a lot too. Hear that? Oh my gosh, someone downstairs. But yeah, they've just been through a lot, and they're looking towards you because they're like you. Again, remember, Page of Cups, King of Cups. Been through a lot, but still has this sweetness about them. And that's probably why. Like, if you think about people who've been through a lot, they're always really kind because they know what it's like to be hurt. And yes, there's the opposite that are just awful just because they've been through a lot. But I'm talking about, I don't know, like, think of like celebrities. Keanu Reeves, I always think of him. He's not a Pisces, he's a Virgo actually, but he's been through so much. But he's still so kind. And like never in the tabloids doing any weird things, just like a good human. Like, that's what this feels like to me, someone like that. So, you know, this Emperor has a lot of control, a lot of stability. Again, this King of Pentacles, this Emperor energy, lots of resources. But, you know, like a boss too. Someone that you can count on. So with the Eight of Wands, you know, they're coming your way quickly. Almost like out of nowhere. I mean, look, this is like, okay, let's pucker up. And you're like, wait, hold on, who are you? A little bit of that. Like, it's like they've been looking for you, you've been looking for them, and now they're here. So with the Judgment card and the Two of Cups, it's like this immediate, I almost said initial, of like, you're for me and I'm for you. It's almost like that love at first sight feeling. And, you know, this does not have to be romantic. Yes, there's a ton of cups here, but it doesn't have to be like, ooh, we're dating. It can just be like people that get you, that you feel just this simpatico kind of connection, where you can both just be yourself and understand each other. You don't have to feel like they hate everything that you love, basically. And it's after this, you know, cycle of 18 years, after this big eclipse. And even if you weren't alive 18 years ago, you were in a past life. So just because our bodies change and our circumstances change doesn't mean that the energy stops. This is cyclical. These are lifetimes upon lifetimes. So it's this awakening. That's what judgment is. It's like, oh, you know, answered the call. You've heard the horns being, you know, sounded, and you're like, okay, I'm ready for this. And what you're ready for is this Two of Cups, which means coming together with people that are like you. Because, yeah, Pisces, you've been through so much with the Five of Pentacles. Fives are a challenge, okay? This can be health, this can be money, this can be time, this can be energy where you're just like, I don't know if I can keep going. But with the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Wands underneath that, it's like after everything that you've done, this is what you deserve. You know, after every difficult battle, there's the celebration. Okay? So, in this next phase, give yourself those times to celebrate for all the hard work that you've done, whether it be in like a physical, passionate sense or like mentally, you know, like after a degree and like you go take your boards or your whatever exams, it's like celebrate that, you know, with your peers, with these like-minded people, and know that they know what it's like to go through hard things and achieve. So remember that you need to celebrate. You've been through so much. And anyone who doesn't want to celebrate with you, get rid of them. Because they're just jealous that you've leveled up and they haven't. But the reason they haven't is because they haven't put in any work. It's like they've blocked themselves with the Nine of Wands and the Eight of Pentacles here. And the World. So it's like, no, bye. Okay, I can't take you with me, remember. Because this is where you're headed, Ten of Pentacles, you know. Alright, anything else? And yeah, some people are just jealous. Oh, gross. But yeah, Chariot, Ten of Wands. So anything that seems just too heavy right now, just take some space from it. You know, and it doesn't even have to be confrontational. It's like, okay, I'm going to go on my way. I'm having a great time. And you can keep working here because you need to. Yeah, the strength. It's like, it's your... Yeah, you deserve it. You've put in all the effort. Yeah, now it's your time to receive with the Empress. Yeah, and with the Devil and the Seven of Swords, it's like people will make you almost feel bad for this achievement because they can't stand it, because it means that it just reminds them more and more that they've done absolutely nothing with their life that matters to them. Because that's the thing, it's not about having this giant life, like I'm a celebrity and everyone knows who I am. It's not even that. It's about being proud of what you've done in your own life. Even if it's something small. It doesn't have to be this giant, everyone knows about it thing to be important to you. So it's perspective, right? With the star energy, you help inspire people to go after their dreams, no matter how big or small they are. But there are some people that will never pursue their dreams or always put themselves down, even if they have achieved things, because there's no gratitude there. And you know those type of people where they just complain and nothing ever's good. It's always like everything's crappy. it's cynical. It's like, ugh. So it's like that kind of energy, you don't need that in your life at all. It's beneath you. Okay, you're this shining star. So anyone that's like, ugh, they're just, ugh, you know. So yeah, they're just needing more time here to learn. But yeah, here's that quality. This is who that is, if you need clarification. Page of Wands energy, young, immature fire signs, King of Swords, just kind of cynical older people, Queen of Swords, bitter Bettys, people like that. Like, yeah, just stay away from them. Like, oh, yeah, it's too bad. Okay, I gotta go. And there's a lot of people out there like that. And that's the thing. They don't mean to be bringing down, like they don't even know any better. But you don't have time to show them. You just keep moving. And if it ever comes to like, hey, how do you do this in your life? Oh, well, actually, it's because I'm not a bitter Betty and I'm not an old crotchety, I know everything about the world. And I'm not an immature idiot. So, yeah, Pisces, like, enjoy yourself. And you'll see how those energies are, you know, just fewer and far between in your life. You know, as you steadily move forward. So enjoy yourself and pay all those other people no mind. You know, sometimes it means keeping your wins to yourself and away from those kind of people. It's like, you know who supports you. You know who loves you and is happy for you. And, you know, if you want to share it on the channel, we will all high five you here. Because, yeah, we know what it's like. King of Cups. Yeah, so enjoy the victory. And with the Justice card here, it's part of your karma to be victorious, to be better than you were before. Because we don't ever want to go backwards, right? We want to keep moving forward. And it takes lifetimes. But celebrate all the wins. All right, Pisces. Beautiful reading. Let me know where you think I am. Is there a sign anywhere? I don't think so. But yeah, I love you and enjoy your weekend. You know, do all your little special things for yourself and your guides. Yeah, even if it's just celebrating with them. All right, Pisces. I love you. We'll see you soon.